Our topic today is stop going to church. If you haven't been transformed even after many years, what we're going to focus is about the transformation of our life. I'm all for going to church. I love church. Church is the bride of Christ. So another title I could have given to this is hosting the presence of God. Hosting the presence of God. Isn't that a beautiful title? But I purposely gave this title so some of you can criticize me why you should go to church, to provoke others to love, to edify others, to help others. Church is the last place you should go looking for God's presence. Church is the last place you should go looking for God's presence. God's presence. You are hosting God's presence. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, they are living inside you. So when you go to church, you are not thirsty and hungry. You already are soaked with God's presence. You are loving Him, and now you go and love on people and together. That's why but it's important. You do not forsake the assembly of the brethren. You come together. You celebrate. You sing. You shout. You just thank God. Encourage each other. That's what church is about. That's what we do on Sundays or any day we come together. We just encourage each other. If they are in trouble, you help them, listen to them, spend time, check on them. That's what us brothers and sisters we are supposed to do. That's what God's expecting us. Not that you come all broken down. You are just busy with your life and you didn't spend time with God at all. And now Sunday or Wednesday on Bible study you come and poor pastor he's supposed to learn all the time, and then he's supposed to spoon feed you with the revelation he has got, but you personally don't have any revelation. The pastor has to come and feed you, and you are surviving on that. In Hebrews 10:25 it's talking about, let me read it. So not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some, but exhorting one another, and so much more as the day of the Lord is approaching. One is fixed mindset, one is a growth mindset. If you have a fixed mindset, you won't even finish reading the title that stop going to church. By the time you reach there, you will get offended and you stop, and your growth will be. I'll be covering about religion versus relationship. What is church? What is the temple of God? New Testament church versus the Old Testament church. What is the role of the church? What are the duties of church? Has your life changed after all these years going to church? If not, what can you do about it? All right. And then, do you still sin? Do you still sin? As a believer, do you still sin? Are you a sinner or a saint? Or who are you, by the way? Have you become love? Another question to ask. Are you living in the Spirit, or are you still living in the flesh? You're carnal or spiritual? Your offerings. Do you know the will of God? Do you know the will of God for your life? Are you obeying the Great Commission? What's the Great Commission? Do you even know what's the Great Commission? Are you waiting to go to heaven after being born again? Are you waiting to go to heaven? Are you equipped in your church? Are you equipped in church? So church is supposed to equip you. And if you're not equipped, what are you supposed to do? What can you do about it? Have you ever thought about it? And lastly, the elementary principles of Christ, or the basic doctrines of Christ. Difference between the old covenant and the new covenant. Pray for you. You have to offer the sacrifice. The priest will do it for you. And you can't just approach God like that. It was a place, and God's presence was there. From there, God blessed His people. That was how it worked in the old covenant. And to meet God, you had to go to that place. You had to go, and God said, if you come here and if you look toward this place and pray, I will answer you. So that's how in the Old Testament the church worked. God dwelt in man-made building, and His presence was there on the mercy seat on the top of the Ark of the Covenant. And this Ark of the Covenant is amazing. You can read it. The priests are hanging around it. They can't even touch it. They have to carry it with a pole. But the people looked at it, and 50,610 men were killed just by looking into the Ark. You understand who are we dealing with? That's our God. 2 Samuel 6:7. Uzzah, one guy, tried to help. The ark was about to fall. He touched, and He died. So that's the old covenant deal. So God dwelt in the temple, and His presence was on that ark, on the mercy seat, and we couldn't approach, and the Jews couldn't approach, only the priest, and they couldn't even go inside. Only the high priest could go once in every year, pleading for mercy for people and for himself. So that's how God operated. Right? Very scary. But in the New Testament, now let's see the New Testament. So this is what, when you see this, when you understand this, the difference between how God dealt with people in the Old Covenant and how He's dealing with us, when you understand this, how precious, how scary, how glorious our God is, this is going to change our life. And when you understand that God who dwelt in that ark, who is dwelling now in you, your whole perspective is going to change. When you are hosting God, you can't sin, you can't get angry, you can't fornicate. That's what changed me. That's what changed me. So that's why I'm teaching this. That's why it's important, man. Our life, the whole life will change. It's not just going to church on Sunday and feeling God's presence. It's everywhere. He's dwelling in us 24/7. So your body now is a temple. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? We being Gentiles, now our body is called the temple of the Lord. How amazing is that? So that's why Christ died. So now in the Old Testament we couldn't call Him as Father. The Jews will stone you to death. That's what they did to Jesus.